Hey Jim, this is Connor Murray calling from X Company. How are you? Good. I'm just reaching out because... insert talk track. All right, today I want to go over why how are you, how you doing, how are you today are all actually effective cold call openers, despite what everyone says that you got to use these wild pattern interrupts and these tactics to get their attention at the beginning of a call. I want to show you that this is actually a lot easier than people are making it out to be, and that you can use things like how are you, but what's key is how you say it. So I'll run through that example again, but pay attention to the downward inflection and how I say how are you. So I'll do two examples where I say the same exact thing and pay attention to the difference between the two. So the first one I'll do again, I say, hey Jim, this is Connor Murray calling from X Company. How are you? Good, I'm just reaching out because... So that's the first one. The second one, I'll say the same words. Hey Jim, this is Connor Murray calling from X Company. How are you? Same words, but in my opinion, that second one is actually a lot more obnoxious, because what you're signaling to them is that you actually want them to talk to you about how their day is going. And it's kind of like, hey, I just cold called you and you're not busy, you don't have a day job and you have time to talk to me about how your day is going. Where the first one I did actually signals that I'm not here to waste time. So even though I said the same words, I say, hey Jim, this is Connor Murray calling from X Company. How are you? Good, I'm just reaching out because... So the way I say how are you sort of signals, hey, we don't need to talk about what we had for breakfast today. Just give me a quick formality back and I'll go right into why I'm calling and not waste either of our time. That's why it works, but you have to practice that tone and that inflection. So the first one, the one I like, signals that I don't need to play games. That's what I think the key difference is that I want to feel and sound confident on these calls, and if I'm actually an expert in what I'm talking about, why do I need to do these crazy pattern interrupts where I say, hey, do you have 30 seconds for me to tell you why I'm calling, and you can hang up on me if you don't want to continue the conversation? Why would I have to play games like that if I'm actually confident in what I'm saying? I don't need to be a dancing monkey in order to get their attention. If I'm actually confident, I want to convey that and say, hey, this is Connor Murray calling from X Company. How are you? Not here to waste time, and I'll go right into why I'm calling afterwards. So that is what I think the key difference is yes, how are you will not work if you say it the wrong way, but if you signal that you're confident with that downward inflection that, hey, I'm just looking for a formality here, and then just give me a quick formality back, and I will tell you exactly why I'm calling, that's how it can be effective. I actually prefer to say, how you doing? Find the words that work for you, but the key is that downward sloping inflection. So in my opinion, this is actually the new pattern interrupt. All these lines you hear, do you have 30 seconds for me to tell you why I'm calling? This is a cold call, do you want to hang up now? I think those used to be unique 5 or 10 years ago and maybe were an effective pattern interrupt that prospects weren't used to. But now everyone is saying those lines. That's not even common. Now people just roll their eyes when they hear that stuff. They're actually not used to someone just saying, hey, this is Connor Murray calling from X Company. How you doing? Like, no one does that anymore. I actually think it's the new pattern interrupt. So that's why I think it can be effective. And I'll just end saying, in general, I just think you should stop worrying about the cold call opener. It shouldn't be something that is on your mind. You should be more concerned with your value statement, your pitch, your talk track, whatever you want to call it. That's the part that you should be practicing and is really going to make or break the success on your cold calls, not these wild cold call openers that just cause... The cold call can go in any direction when you try those, but when you just keep it simple, keep it within your process, how you doing? Trust me, I've done it thousands of times. I've seen reps do it thousands of times. It works. So let me know what you think. Try it. Practice that tone. I think you'll see it. It will feel a lot easier, and then you can just the sky is clear and you can get right into that talk track that you've been trying to get to. So drop a comment, whatever you think. Either way, let me know what lines work for you. I love talking with all of you and I respond to all the comments. So hopefully you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.